Hello, welcome to another Melise Deep Dive. I'm excited to have you this week, and we're going to be talking today about optimizing your immune system so that you can avoid all the sniffles, sicks, and the flu this fall season. There are a whole bunch of different things that we can do to make sure that you are at your absolute most resistant to colds and flu during this time of season when they're so much more prevalent. A lot of things happen during the fall, including people spending a lot more time closed and indoors in the colder weather, and including some natural suppression of our immune system that make it far more likely to get sick. And we don't want you to be missing out on all the great fall life with missed sick days. So we're going to give you the tips and tricks today so that you can avoid it. So first of all, we want to talk today about optimizing immunity. And while we can't completely change out the immune system with which you are blessed, we can do a lot of different things that allow you to put your own immune system in the best position to be successful against this year's cold and flu. And we do that with a number of different techniques. First of all, we want to really look at avoiding anything that might naturally suppress your immune system. Taking a look at those things that are most common to suppress most people's immune system. First of all, systemic toxicity is one of the biggest suppressants to your immune system. So if you are living a lifestyle, eating a lot of processed foods, coming into contact with a lot of modern day plastics and petroleum-based chemicals and all the things that pervade our modern day life, each of those can actually suppress the healthy activity of your immune system. Many of you have joined us over the last week for our fall immune system cleanse to help to get as many of those toxins out of the way so that they won't be suppressing your immune response this fall. It's not too late. If you didn't join us last week, you're welcome to cleanse at any time, and fall is one of the very, very best times. So if you haven't done it, you want to find out more about cleansing, you can take a look back at a few of the recent live videos that we have here, as well as take a look at the Facebook platform we put up for the official Melise Fall Cleanse. And you can actually go and catch up and do the cleanse this week if you want, or next week if you want to address that. But removing that toxicity is one of the first steps in helping to make sure that your immune system is strong and ready to fight this fall. The other big suppressors of the immune system are actually things that are pretty easy to avoid. And that is, first and foremost, refined sugar. Consuming refined sugar, if you consume just over 10 grams of sugar, it can actually suppress your immune system for up to 3 hours, which means if you're drinking a can of Coke once every 3 hours, you essentially are dealing with a entirely suppressed immune system pretty much all the time. If you're eating candy, if you're eating processed foods that are including refined sugars, it actually is holding your immune system far below its potential pretty much all the time. So we want to make sure that you're avoiding those refined sugars. The NIH recommendation on refined sugars is no more than 25 grams a day. But really, that's a good number to push as low as you possibly can. There is no dietary requirement for refined sugars. You can live just fine the rest of your life without ever eating refined sugars. They don't really do anything beneficial for your health nutritionally. So cutting back as far as possible on refined sugars is actually just a good overall health strategy, but especially during this fall time where people tend to be more susceptible to bugs that'll get them sick, get them the flu. Avoiding refined sugars is really, really important this time of year. And also, avoiding the consumption of alcohol to the excess is important with your immune system. So this doesn't mean you can't have a glass of wine with dinner, at a very moderate level. There are a lot of studies that show like a glass of wine with dinner is actually really beneficial to your health. It can do a lot of good things, but drinking to excess absolutely will suppress your immune system. It will disrupt your sleep patterns. It can do a lot of different things. So drinking to an excess ought to be avoided if you're trying to make sure that you're optimizing your immune system. So now let's talk about it. After cutting those things out, what can we do to support a healthy immune system and make sure that your immune system is strong as it can be to fight this fall? First and foremost, make sure you are getting plenty of healthy sleep. We talked a couple weeks ago about optimizing your sleep and some simple hacks that you can put in place to make sure you are getting not just enough sleep, but the right type of deep quality sleep. If you missed that presentation with our deep dive, look back a couple weeks on our videos, and we're talking all about sleep and give you all the tips and tricks that you need to make sure that you are getting the right amount of good, healthy sleep. Your immune system requires good, healthy sleep to actually be reset and be operating at its maximum potential. Additionally to that, we want to make sure you have good foundational nutrition. Each of the nutrients that are required by your body at some degree play some role within your immune system's natural healthy function. So we want to make sure that you are addressing your foundational nutrition. We want to make sure that you are building out a diet based around nutrient-dense foods, that you are including the foods as the foundation of your diet that have the most nutrition. So vegetables, fruits, healthy meats, healthy fats, nuts and seeds, a small amount of really good healthy starch carbs. We want to make sure that you are actually building your diet around those things that are contributing the most nutrition to your health, and not building your diet around empty calories that are giving you a lot of calories but not that good heavy nutrition. And supplementing that diet based around good healthy whole foods is a great idea with something like a multivitamin, with something like the Melise Instant Meal MRP shake, just something that makes sure that you are filling in any gaps that may exist in your diet. We always call that the healthiest or the cheapest form of health insurance, is to just make sure that you are not nutritionally deficient in anything by eating a healthy diet and using smart supplementation to fill in any of those gaps you may have in vitamins and minerals. I want to talk now about just a few specific nutrients that play special roles within your immune system that you can actually use some targeted supplementation during this time of year to make sure they are at their optimal levels to help you have the strongest immune response possible. And then one kind of I guess usually ignored important thing that you need to be thinking about with your immunity. A lot of people let this pass by, but it's a huge piece of making sure that your immunity is great. We're going to talk about that very last. So first, let's talk about a couple of specific nutrients. First of all, vitamin D. Vitamin D is very likely the most important single nutrient for your immune system. Vitamin D plays a factor in over 1,000 functions in your immune system just by itself. And if you are deficient in vitamin D, none of those 1,000 activities of your immune system are going to be happening properly. As you might imagine, that leaves you really, really exposed to cold and flu and other numerous things that your immune system is protecting against. So we want to make sure you're getting plenty of vitamin D. One of the reasons that we have such a spike in cold and flu as we get into the fall season is that at any northern area, location, we're getting much, much less UV light exposure to our skin during the fall time and through the winter, which means that the vitamin D being produced within your skin by exposure to that sunlight, that UV light, goes way, way down. And because of that, literally handicaps your immune system. So fall is the perfect time, if you have not been supplementing vitamin D, to make sure you are adding a vitamin D supplement to your regimen. You want to make sure you're getting the proper type of vitamin D, highly bioavailable vitamin D3, presented in the proper form for your body to use it. And you know, as I said, there is a real lack in northern latitudes during the fall months of the proper UV light. In fact, they've done research right here in Utah. We're at a bit of a northern latitude here, that from fall through winter, you are producing nearly zero vitamin D from UV light, and several reasons for this. One being, we tend to be a lot more covered up in the fall, so we aren't actually getting any exposure when we are outside. But that is compounded by the fact that the sun is at such an angle during the fall that you aren't getting the intensity of UV light to do much production, even if you are getting exposure on your skin. So making sure that you are getting the proper type of supplementation in place is really, really important. I wanted to couple this actually with an announcement. Many of you who have been watching these for a while have been waiting patiently for this, but we actually are announcing the availability of the new packaging on our Melise Vitamin D. So the formulation is not reworked. It's the same great, amazing stuff you guys have been using that is optimized in all the way we talked about for maximum usability, digestibility, bioavailability, but it is in the new, beautiful Melise packaging now. And ready to go today. If you need to get some for yourself this fall, today's the perfect time to do that. Additionally to that, a couple of nutrients we want you to pay special attention to are antioxidants and phytonutrients. Antioxidants and phytonutrients act as fuel basically for your immune system and your ability to fight off infectious agents. So it's kind of like if you guys have ever seen a space movie and they for weapons they use blasters, right? Right? It's the space movie thing where either on the spaceship or their gun, they're not shooting like actual bullets. They're shooting these beams of energy, right? Making sure you have plenty of antioxidants, making sure you have plenty of phytonutrients is like recharging your immune system's blasters. So those all act basically as fuel to allow your immune system to attack invading agents. So you want to make sure you're getting plenty of antioxidants. You want to make sure that you've got a wide mix of carotene antioxidants within that all help with boosting your immune system. And you want to make sure you're including lots and lots of highly dense superfood fruits and vegetables during this time of year. So that's both within your diet, making sure you're getting plenty of superfoods, and also with the introduction of things like the Daily Antioxidant Essentials that has got a couple dozen different superfruits, or the Melise Greens that's got several dozen more superfoods that are all providing these antioxidants and phytonutrients necessary to charge those immune system blasters and give your immune system the maximum ability of fighting off all of these invading pathogens. Lastly, the piece I want to talk about that not a lot of people think about when it comes to immunity is skincare. Most people are like, what does skincare have to do with immunity? And the thing is that we need to always keep in mind is our skin is not just to be pretty. Our skin actually is an active organ in our body. It's an active organ of elimination, but it also is an active organ of immunity, where it stands as the literal first line of defense between any pathogen in our environment and its ability to enter into our body. So if your skin is dry, if it's chapped, if it's not properly moisturized, if it's not properly hydrated, it is far more susceptible to allowing some of these disease-causing pathogens to get where they're not supposed to be. So make certain this fall, as your skin is much more likely with the shifts in temperature to start to dry out, to start to have issues, that you are addressing those with awesome quality, great natural skincare to make sure you keep your skin not only looking its best, but absolutely protecting your health its best and doing what it's meant to do in helping you to avoid any type of infection from disease-causing agents. So as always, if you have any questions about anything we talked about, if you want to talk about some specifics, if you want some great ideas on how you can apply any of these immune boosting techniques to your own life, or how you can help others find any of these issues that will help them to protect their immunity, please call, reach out, email to our incredible support team here at Melise. They've got an incredibly amazing amount of education, and they literally live to help you guys change the world. So please go ahead and reach out. You're free to call at 1-800-548-0569 or jump on our website. You can get onto live chat right now and get help with any questions you may need to steer you in the right direction to make sure that you have your absolute best immunity this fall. Thank you.